everybody, good morning, good afternoon and good evening, and welcome back to the channel and Football Manager 2023 with me, Dean, and our epic quest across Europe to win every top flight division that is in Europe in the save. We're currently in nation number 15 on our journey, which is Israel, as the manager of Kiryat Shmona. We're about a third of the way through our first full season here in Israel. Of course, we took over at the end of halfway through the end of last season, and we actually moved the team from near the bottom of the table up to 4th place. Now, the previous team that we did do that with was IFK Goteborg. Unfortunately, the Swedish league isn't loaded anymore, so we can't actually see where they finished last season, with them being a summer league and we're currently in a winter league. They just didn't cross over, but we can see the top three. Unfortunately, they didn't make the top three, but when I was checking in on them throughout the time in Israel, they were in or about the top 3-4 clubs in up there, so they're doing quite well in terms of Europe. They're still in the Europa League phase. They're actually doing reasonably well in that as well. Currently find themselves in 15th with 9 points from 6 games, so there's every chance that they could qualify there. Obviously, that's the building blocks that we put in place when we were there. Matti Magyar is now considered their key player. Transfer wise, they've shifted on a few of them. You know, there's a few of the players gone out, including a couple that we signed. I think I've already gone over this in the last episode. I more than likely have, so we won't go over it again. In terms of how we're doing, though, we're still financially in a mess. The board injected yet more money into the club, another £700,000. We're still 2.2 million in the red. We're also committed to spending over our wage budget when our new player comes in around about a week's time. The guy who we showed you at the start of the season. So we really need to get some money in through the door. Unfortunately, it's not happening. We did also have rumours of a board takeover as well while we were playing through the first third of the season. Unfortunately, it didn't happen. But let's run through that first third of the season and we'll go over what happened. Now, the first thing you're probably going to notice is that we did actually lose the cup final to Maccabi Tikva even. Unfortunately, a 1-0 loss in that one. So heartbreaking. That's 2 cup finals now as the manager of Kiryat that we've lost. We absolutely got FM'd in it. There's no way we should have lost. We absolutely dominated the game, and we've lost 1-0, unfortunately. League-wise, though, of course, you were here on the opening day of the season against Hapoel Haifa. We've then taken on Maccabi Tel Aviv. Now, I did say it was going to be a difficult game. Maccabi have had a shocking start to the season, though, and Jakob Larsson with the goal in the 31st minute. Another game in which we absolutely dominated. We'll show you Maccabi in a moment. We'll show you where they are in the league and just how bad of a start they've had. There was one point where they were bottom of the league. It's been so poor. Next up for us, though, was Hapoel Ramat Gan. Another 1-0 win in this one. Atia scoring the only goal of the game in another dominant performance. Ibukunli was sent off in injury time at the end of the game. Silly, really, considering we're right at the end of the game. But 1-0, another great win. Ashdod were next. Now, they're having a really good season at Ashdod. It was a 0-0 draw. Again, probably should have won, but, you know, a draw's probably fair. Probably fair. Romero's not had the best of seasons for us, so 0-0 on that one. We did to return to winning ways in the next one against Ramat Hasharon. Another great performance by the boys, Jakob Larsson and Nadir Hidari with the goals for Kiryat, before Kodjo Sama got one back for Ramat. Jakob Larsson picking up the man of the match. Again, we were very good and a good result for us. We did then lose to another surprise package so far this season in the title race, in the league, in Maccabi Netanya. They're having a very, very good season, and they came to our place and they beat us 2-0. They FM'd us, don't get me wrong. They didn't deserve to win. We fully deserved to win, but we didn't score again, and we've had a poor performance defensively. Salama there in the centre of defence with a 6.2, and we were very, very poor going forward. So they've come in and they've like I say, they've FM'd us. They've beat us 2-0. We made it. You know, we had a streak there where we didn't win a game in 4 with 1 defeat and 3 draws in a row. The next one was against Benai Sakhanin, who beat us in the cup final last season. 2-2 in this one. They went ahead early on through Levi. Romero got us level, but they scored again in injury time at the end of the first half through a penalty. Mahmoud Darwish did equalise for us. in what has to be said was a very even game. A draw is probably a fair result. But like you say, we did draw 3 in a row, and the next one was against Maccabi Haifa. Kayal with the goal for us. That was after Dor Shitrit had given Maccabi the lead in the 16th minute. It was a poor game of football, really poor game of football. There was not very many shots on target. It was just, it was poor. Very, very poor. But 1-1 was probably a fair result. And the next one, again, Hapoel Jerusalem. This is one that we really should have won, particularly against Hapoel Jerusalem. But Goldstein got our goal in the first half injury time. That was after Elad Swisser had given Hapoel Jerusalem the lead in the 9th minute. Atiyah was sent off on 88. I think he actually got sent off 2 games in a row. Did Atiyah. So we should have won. Should have won, really, but we didn't. Next up was Hapoel Tel Aviv. Obviously, Atiyah was suspended for this one, but I think he got sent off again somewhere. He got sent. Oh, there we go. He got sent off against Benai Sakanin and then against Jerusalem as well. So 2 games he's played in a row, he got sent off. But Hapoel Tel Aviv, we've returned to winning ways, and it was a 3-0 win in this one. Ibi Kunli with 2 and Goldstein with the other one, and it's a good performance. Romero hasn't performed again, though. He does actually want to leave the club, does Romero, but we've had a lot of shots, a lot on target. We've hit the woodwork, we've created chances, and a 3-0 win in this one, which was fantastic. And then most recently, league-wise, it was Hapoel Accra. Romero with the only goal of the game in the 2nd minute, but we restricted Hapoel to absolutely nothing, and they do find themselves at the bottom of the league. Most recently, it's been a cup game against a lower division side. We 11-0, so hopefully that many goals is going to give some confidence to some of these players, and we can start firing again in the league, because this run here was not good. Obviously, we've had 2 there where we've lost as well. It's been a mixed start to the season. However, we do find ourselves at the top of the table after such a mixed start to the season. There's Maccabi down in 9th place, but their season, like I say, they were, Maccabi Tel Aviv is one of the 2 teams who I actually know from Israel. The champions 2 years in a row from 2 years ago. Hapoel Beersheva, the defending champions, are down here in 12th place. They've had a poor season as well. So some of the big boys are dropping the ball for us, which is really helping us out. The one who hasn't dropped the ball is Maccabi Haifa, and they find themselves just a point behind us. But Netanya and Ashdod, like I said, have had a great season. Today's opponent is Petach Tivka. They currently don't have a manager. They've just sacked their manager. I can't remember why. Maybe for poor performances, maybe down the fact they're down in 5th in the table when they are predicted to finish 5th. So I don't know why he's had the sack, to be honest. We've now managed to get ourselves another player in the Media Dream 11 as well. Nadi Hidari has worked his way into there. So we've got Azalai Larson and Nadi Hidari. We're down to 12s now in the table, but the favourites, Maccabi Tel Aviv, you can see the kind of season that they've had, along with Hapoel Beersheva as well. So there's 2 of the teams above us who are floundering, really. Negative goal difference for both of them. We've got a positive goal difference of 9. We have conceded a few more than we did last season, which is a bit disappointing. Although it's only 8, it is the best defence in the league. We've also not scored the most in the league, which is why our goal difference is worse off than Maccabi. But in terms of the squad and goal scoring wise, the leading scorer is Jakob Larsson with 9. It's then Goldstein from centre half, believe it or not, with 7. Romero's only managed to chip in 5 goals this season. He's not really had the best of seasons. Goal-wise, he's got 3 in the league in 12 appearances. Hopefully, when the new lad comes in, he can pick it up a bit. But Romero, to be fair to him, has picked up 8 assists, which is the leading assist maker in the squad, followed by Ibi Kunli and then Nadi Hidari. In terms of match ratings, Deloy Gabai's only played 1 game, so ignore him. He was a desperate, had no right winger, needs to play somebody. But it's Goldstein and Azulai, so defensively, the team are performing very, very well, which is good. So that's the recap, guys. That's where we're at. We're top of the table. Hopefully we're knocking Israel off this season. Get ourselves to our next nation, which I mistakenly said was Croatia. I think I said it was, but it's not. It's Turkey. Turkey is next. And we've seen that we do have a lot of good young prospects come from Turkey in this save. If you remember Yusuf Tash, one of our signings, excited to go to Turkey, really. But Turkey, I think, is going to be quite difficult. There's some big teams over there like Besiktas and Galatasaray. Fenerbahce as well, But we'll see when we get there. We've beaten big teams before. Lineup for today, though, is going to be Alati in goal. He's had another good season, 6 clean sheets, 8 conceded in 12 games. So he's playing well. Navon continues as right back, possibly a weak link in the squad, but he's performing okay. And for lack of a replacement, he's going to have to continue there. Azulai and Goldstein, the two centre-halves. Azulai is a very good player, even at 30 years old. He's, like I say, he's had a fantastic season so far, including a hat-trick in that cup game where we won 11-0. Goldstein is scoring loads of goals from midfield, from defence, I beg your pardon. Had another good season, best performer at the club this season so far. And then Kyle continues as the left back. He's had a decent season as well, chipping in with 2 goals himself in the league. Midfield 3 unchanged. It is Nadi Hidari. Again, had another good season. Reasonably happy to have him here. His wages are a little bit high though, considering we're over the wage budget, but that's the lowest I could get them down to. Sayam, another one who's on high wages, but he's a very good defensive midfielder. And then Ibakunli, who is on another one on 5k, the American, but is having a good season. 2 wingers for today is going to be Kamis. Again, maybe not the best of seasons for Kamis. But he's more played there because Atia keeps getting sent off. And then Larson, as you've seen, is the top goal scorer this season for us with 9 overall. Only 3 in the league, though. Just coincidentally, Kruma is unhappy. He thinks he should be starting more games so he can get into the national setup. But he plays in Larson's position. And then it is going to be Romero up top, the misfiring striker with 15 and 55 now for the club, which, if you've kept up to date with the save so far, you know that we love a goal-scoring striker. We've had strikers score regularly 40 goals a season for us. So, I've talked enough. Let's get into the game against Maccabi Petach Tikva. We are away from home, which hopefully isn't going to affect us, and we can pick up the 3 points to continue at the top of the table. I think Maccabi Haifa are going to have a strong season, and they're going to be the ones who, if we're in it at the end of the season, they're going to be the ones who are challenging us for that title. They are playing away to Maccabi Tel Aviv today, so hopefully Tel Aviv have picked up a little bit of form and they can beat Maccabi Haifa for us. Coincidentally, Maccabi Tel Aviv haven't sacked their manager despite the poor season that they've had. I've been checking. All right, half an hour gone and we've got our first highlight, and it's going to be a red card sending off for Kamis. I thought we were in blue. First highlight of the game, guys, and one of our wingers is sent off. That's not great, is it? I think I'm just going to have to leave it as it is, unfortunately. We're just going to have to play without a right winger, which means Navon's going to have to do all the work on the right-hand side. As it happens, though, it is us coming forward. It's a free kick by Ibakunli, but it's cut out, and now Alban. But Sayam, the defensive midfielder there, has pinched the ball back, finds Goldstein, looking over the top towards Larson, who's in, top scorer, and he gets another one. He gets his 10th of the season to give 10-man Kiryat the lead in this game. A crucial game at the top of the table. Of course, the team who beat us in the Toto Cup final. A little bit of revenge for them. As we come again down the right-hand side, Navon is all by himself, though, in there, and he's given the ball away to Levi. Santarelli over the top. Goldstein will win the header, and Sayam finds Ibakunli. Larson, the goal scorer. Romero got Nadi Hidari ahead of him. Nadi Hidari's in. It's 2. It's only 2. 2-0 before half-time with 10 men. Fantastic, fantastic performance by Kiryat. Out of interest, if any of you do speak Hebrew, by the way, am I saying that right? Is it Kiryat? Because if you have a look at the league table, we'll show it when we get back into the second half. It's got IK8. Is it Kiryat? And that's why it's got a number 8 there? I don't know. Answers in the comments. Unfortunately, I don't speak Hebrew. Petach Tikva looking to get back into the game, though, with Owusu. Switches the ball to the left-hand side, and Korkus. Navon all by himself, though. Korkus comes inside, feeds the ball forward. They've got an overload on the right-hand side with Marquez driving into the penalty area. It's a deep cross towards Korkus. It's a good header, though, by Yitav. Korkus gets his 3rd goal of the season. And just before the hour mark, the deficit is halved by Petach Tikva. We need to really focus now. I'm debating whether or not to take Larson off and drop somebody in somewhere. I don't know, maybe move one of these out here. No, we'll leave it. We'll leave it. We scored 2 goals like this. Navon's just going to have to work that little bit harder, unfortunately. But here come Petak Tikva coming forward again. Korkus takes it past 2. He's still going. Nobody coming out to challenge him. He's still going into the area. Gets his shot away. It's a comfortable save, though, for Alati in goal. We just allowed him to travel far too far with the ball there. And now Navon has made the mistake. Korkus pinches it again. No. That's never a foul, ref. Never in a million years is that a foul. Right, yeah, thank you. Correct decision. Is there a yellow card for the dive then? No? Okay. And we held on. We held on after that little penalty scare at the end there. VAR decision actually going in our favour for once with the penalties. Great performance though, particularly having a man sent off halfway through the first half. So 10 men have gone and scored 2 goals against a pretty decent side, let's not forget, who have beaten us in a cup final this season. We've won 2-1 and we've continued that little mini run that we're on at the minute, and we've extended the gap to Maccabi Haifa. Hopefully Tel Aviv can do us a favour later on tonight. I think we'll click forward to get that game. Get that game over the line. Oh, Tel Aviv did us a favour. Get in, Maccabi Tel Aviv. A 91st minute winner. That's fantastic. So 13 games played, guys. We're a third of the way through the season, and we are now 4 points clear at the top. We've got a little bit of a cushion, which is fantastic. Fantastic news. In terms of when we're back, let's remember that the league does split. So we're probably going to come back. Maybe Hapoel Beersheva, the defending champions, down here, and then the league will split and we'll come back and do the last game of the season. It might be a little bit earlier than that, depending on if we're in contention for the championship. As things stand, though, we are in contention for the championship. Currently sat, like I say, 4 points clear at the top, which is great. Guys, thank you very much. If you've enjoyed it, please remember to hit that like button for me. Also, if you want to keep up to date with anything future from the channel, hit the subscribe button as well. Or if you're just new around here, do me a favour, hit that button for me. It all helps me out massively, and I greatly appreciate it. But guys, thank you very much, and I'll see you all in the next episode. Cheers, guys.